Kan? Abinaw.
Shalom, shalom. Amadio Wapanja, Jerusalem. Stand up is Jerusalem. Mashiach Spalal, Yahusha spread. Abinawa, Shabashmaya, Shadash, Aya, Shamka, Hawa, Lakwatka, Ra'a, Dizaka, Aya, Aisha, Aratiza, Bashmaya, Nathaniel, Nakam, Kal, Nawam, Basalat now, Kawawat now, Basalat now, Kawawat now, Bara'a, Kawaya now, Barasayawan, Abal, Hawshana, Manran, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Baha'ala, Bahatapara, Arawalam, Asham, Mashiach, Yahushai, Tamara, Aman.
The book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 9. After this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts when we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. For if we forgive men their trespasses, your Father also forgive you. But if you forgive men not their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. Abinah Yahweh Shema Sek Yahushai, dwelleth beyond Aman.
Shabbat, you see it? Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Gun. I praise the Most High by Shomash Yahushai. Gun. We are the Light of Zion, that is located in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale. My name is El Lapalad. To my left,
Officer Yakazak Wala Hamatazak.
man with a long name and long precepts. And I praise the Most High by Shomash Yahushai. Okay. Today we're going to go with the topic, you know, Esau, the forge of lies, and basically everything Esau got stolen from somebody. So we're going to focus today on how Esau covered thieves, meaning land, properties that previously belonged to the 12 tribes of Israel in this side of the world, the so-called New World and the so-called Western Hemisphere. Okay. Let's start off with Colossians 3, verse 17.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name by Hashem Masech Yahushai, giving thanks to the power and the Father by him.
Right. Whatever you do in word or deed, whether it's the actions or just the thought process, make sure everything in accordance to the scriptures, in accordance to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Yahushua, whom was sent to die for the nation of Israel to reconcile us back to the Most High. Everything must be in accordance to that, not according to your vain thoughts, because as Scripture says, our thoughts are not the Most High's thoughts. And that's how we cleanse our mind of our vain and worldly thoughts by conforming our thinking and actions to the Scriptures, the commandments of the Most High. Let's get in consistency with the topic at hand. Let's get Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Oh, it's blocking? Okay. Mike, yeah, come.
The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise evil iniquity. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Yeah, woe to them that devise iniquity. What's a woe? Destruction to them that devise, who manage, you know what I mean, who think about it, who conjure up these vain thoughts, wickedness, things which go contrary to the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. Iniquity, which iniquity is for the transgression of the Most High's law. The ones who manifest these evil devices and work evil upon their beds. They think about these evil thoughts which go against the Most High Scriptures, the Most High's program. Yeah.
And work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it.
Right. When the morning is light, they practice it. So in the daytime, in secret, whether by themselves or secret counsel, privy counsel that they have, they come up with these devious plans, abominable plans. And then when they have the power in the daytime, whether through legislation or on the job or wherever, or in their private lives, they manifest these evil devices that they came up with. They implement all these these plans and strategies and counsels that they came up with. Right?
Because it is in the power of their hand.
Yeah, because it is in the power of their hand to do. They have the power to do it. You have whether it's the power by legislation, by law, or the power by the numbers, the majority. So the saying always saying majority goes, they will vote you. So like you're throwing your voice out, and they have the money to advertise and promote their agendas. It's in their power to do it. They have the military, they have the police force. It's in the power to oppress our people. You got it, oppress our people. You slaughter us, incarcerate us, and disproportionately for same offenses. Just to take away our influence and our progress and prosperity, as per the perpetual hatred that they have for us. It's in the power to do that. Right?
And they covet fields.
And they covet fields. What does it mean to covet something? Covet means covetous and envious. You're envious, you're jealous of somebody's possession. What is a field? Land. Field is a land. And that land is not just the land go beyond the boundaries. Could be just a house. Could be just a house. They confine us to certain neighborhoods. Even if you got a great job and money to buy a house in certain neighborhoods, they do discrimination, all that, and they refuse to rent it to you. And even not too long ago, with economic meltdown, a lot of people lost their houses due to the bad mortgage. People are upside down in the mortgage payments, lost their houses on possession. Historically through slavery, you had the power, you had the military, you had the might, you had the number, you had the guns. They would slaughter us, violently take away our land. And through legislation, they did the same thing. Took away a lot of lands from a lot of people, so-called white men, a lot of land from us, so-called Negroes, even so-called Mexicans, and so-called Cubans, Puerto Ricans. We're gonna touch into some of those things historically, and how the so-called white men in America, and the ones that come over from Europe, did all that, implemented all that, or they practiced all that. Read.
They covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Right. They covet fields and take them away by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. So you oppress you. Your house, that's talking about your family, your heritage, your culture. You don't want to associate it with you. You don't want to, the same racial background and all that. As a people, that's what they did. Okay, now get me Daniel chapter 7.
Verse 1.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea.
Right, so we're going back now to ancient history. Daniel, he's a Hebrew, Israelite of the southern kingdom of Judah. Daniel was of the tribe of Judah. This was during the time of the Babylonian captivity. So basically, we're talking about 600 or so BC or 590 or so BC. We know the temple was destroyed in 586 BC, so could have been about that time or a little later, 580 something BC. So Daniel had this dream while he was in the Babylonian captivity. But
said the temple was destroyed when?
586 BC. The ancient Babylonians destroyed our temple. And they took away, carried away a lot of people from Jerusalem to Babylon. Because they always do that. Take away the brightest and the smartest and the more skilled to bring them to their country, to build up their country. Just like America, right? They're kicking back a lot of people out of the country, but at the same time they supposedly have a special treatment for the ones with degrees and skills and so on, who can help to build up America. Read.
Verse 3. And
read verse 2 again.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 2. Daniel spake and said, I saw my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea.
Right, upon the vision that Daniel was having, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea, which was the Mediterranean Sea. So you give you an idea of where the vision was referencing, or the geographical location that this was taking place. the Mediterranean Sea that's talking about basically so-called Middle East, around the vicinity of our homeland. Read.
And four great beasts came up upon the sea, diverse one from another.
Right. And four beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. So all these four beasts, and the reader on study can give us a description of the different beasts and what those beasts represent. And the beasts were distinctly different from each other. Read.
The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it.
Right, so the first beast that Daniel saw was like a lion and had eagle's wings. So this is talking about the ancient Babylonian Empire. Okay, this lion represents the ancient Babylonian Empire, and the lion had eagle's wings. I beheld it till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and a man and made to stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. So it was lifted up from lifted up to a higher stature, a military stature, and a man's heart was given to. Wisdom was not given, was given to, because whenever a nation is ruling, it's always the Most High who's put that nation into a position of rulership. Understand? And there's a scripture where Nebuchadnezzar, where the Most High took away that wisdom that he gave to him, and had Nebuchadnezzar walking around like an animal. So it's the Most High who always put the wisdom into different nations, or different nations to the position of rulership. That's what happened to the ancient Babylonians, right? Like the Most High said, what? I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth. You know what? It was lifted up from a low state to a high state. There's now a superpower, and made stand upon his feet as a man, and a man's heart is given to it. So when a man's heart is given to a lion, to an animal, that means that animal is now to a higher level, to a better understanding. He can reason as a man, not as an animal. So that's symbolic of the ancient Babylonian now coming to a power of prominence, military power, and also an organized nation. Read.
Verse 5. And behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh.
Right. And then Daniel saw another beast in this vision that he had, a second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side. Now this second beast, like unto a bear, is talking about the Persian Medes. Persian means empire. It raised up itself on one. Initially, it was like a dual empire, 2 nations in consortium with associated with each other. But then the Persian became more powerful than the Medes, so they became the dominant of the 2. Okay. Read.
Verse 6. After this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl.
Right. See now, these different empires had rulership over Israel at different times in succession. Understand? First, it was the Assyrian. It's not mentioning the Assyrian Empire right here, but the Assyrians were the first to take the northern kingdom. That was in 722 BC into captivity from our homeland, from the northern kingdom, and to bring us into different parts of the Assyrian Empire. That was 722 BC. Then you had the Babylonians. The Assyrians are mentioned here, but they were before the Babylonians. The Babylonians they start coming into prominence in about 600 BC. Till 586 BC, like I said earlier, they destroyed the temple. Okay, so they ruled for a minute, ruled for a while, and then the Persian Medes now they came into rulership. They took over from the Babylonians. Okay, and they had us in they had all the 10 tribes, all the 12 tribes of Israel in captivity. The Persian Medes. They had all the 12 tribes in captivity until 538 BC. Agree?
Verse 7. Verse 6. After this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard.
Right. Now after the Persian and Medes captivity, he saw another beast. This one like unto a leopard. This one is referring to the Greeks. Alexander the Greek. That's the empire. That's a beast that Daniel saw in his vision, representing the Greek Empire under the rulership of Alexander. Read.
Which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads. The dominion was given to it.
Right. And this beast, the leopard, had on the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast also had 4 heads. The 4 wings of the fowl and the 4 heads represents his 4 top generals. Understand? His 4 top generals that rode him, so to speak. That helped him to conquer these territories. Because when Alexander died, which he died in about, for about 12 years, he died about 300 or so BC. And I said, about 300 or so BC. So that's the era which we're referencing right now. His kingdom was divided amongst those 4 top generals. Different territories were divided amongst his 4 top generals. We're not going to focus on that right now. But we can go over that in another topic. Okay. I'll read on.
Verse 7. After this I saw the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible.
Right. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible. So we can just visualize this chronologically of different nations that ruled from different era of time. The Assyrians, which is not mentioned in this particular chapter. Then you have the Babylonians. Then you have the Persian Medes. Then you have the Greeks. Okay, which you all know. We gotta go over that another time. Also, the Greeks, of a certain part of the empire that was divided amongst Alexander's 4 generals. Of the what they call Hellenized people, how the people converted to their customs, and how we confronted them, how we wage wars against them, slip against them, and the oppression put us on them, and cleanse the temple that they had defiled, and dedicated back to the Most High, which is what we call Hanukkah. That's how Hanukkah came about. Okay, so now this right here in verse 7 says, and after this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible. Read.
After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong and exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces. It stomped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. And it had teeth. And it had 10 horns.
Right. So this beast is talking about the Roman Empire. You know, the Romans came after the Greeks. But the Romans, and because of our disobedience to the Most High had all these different nations ruling over us at one time or another. So even though in between, there were certain times, where we had especially after the Greeks, we had a little bit of time where Israel was governing ourselves. It's the southern kingdom. But then the Romans saw an opening, they saw weakness in our nation, so they exploited that. And that's how the Romans came to rule over our people. And the Romans said, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. 10 horns. You know, the Romans, the so-called white people, Idumean, understand? They said there are 10 horns. He's talking about 10 horns was what you would call it, the European common market. Actually, there's 7 heads and 10 horns. A different nation that came out of the so-called Edomite race. Understand? 10 horns are some of the different nations. Like today, that would be referred to like European common market or NATO. Understand that's even though that's more than 10 as it is right now, but originally those were, because that consists of the 10 common markets in Europe. We got verse 8.
I consider the horns, and behold.
What's a horn? A horn represents a kingdom, like a nation, a sovereign nation, a nation that's an independent and sovereign nation that's in a position of rulership. So I consider the horn in a kingdom, a ruling nation. Read.
I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn.
Right. And behold, there came up among them another little horn. Read.
Before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
Right. I consider the horns the nations, and behold, there came up another amongst them, another little horn. They came up among them another little horn. That little horn is America. Before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. Before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. What's it that talking about? It's talking about America destroying or conquering 3 of those European nations. Which 3 American nations, with 3 nations that America conquered.
Britain, Spain, and France.
Britain, Spain, and France, different time. Not in succession, but not too far apart. Not too far apart as far as chronology goes, or went. So America conquered those 3 horns: Spain, France, and Britain. We're talking about the war we know that the British came over here, right? British came over here. They were the main culprits, in conquering in putting our people in slavery in the so-called Americas. Okay, so the people who had our people, so the Edomites, so-called white people who had our people in slavery in America, particularly in America, came from England. Understand? So they had and America originally under the colonists who came from England consisted of 13 states, which were all on the East Coast. considered 13 states all on the East Coast. So now, during that time, during the time of colonizing America, there were conflicts between America, between Britain, actually between Britain and France. The conflict between Britain and France, which was very costly to the British. Understand? So, very costly to the British to the point that the British government was in debt. So it cost a lot of money to finance those wars. Understand? And that was impacting what was going on over in England. The money was coming from England to finance the war over here in America against the French and to run the colony and all that. So I mean that was putting a squeeze on the people back in England. So now they said, what? We're gonna have to start taxing the colonists. You know, we're gonna have to start taxing them. We're gonna have to start financing all these wars themselves, but we're gonna have to start getting money from them to come back to England. So you heard about what they call the Boston, so-called Boston Tea Party. Understand that? That's Britain. Now they passed a law. They passed a law without even consulting the colonists in America as to what their views were or whether they approve or disapprove of the law. They passed a law that they were going to impose taxation on the colonists in America. Understand? So the colonists said they didn't approve of that. They got very upset at that, got mad at that. So basically, as a result of that, they say they decided, you know what? We don't approve of this. We don't like this. They should sponsor us. If you're going to be representing Britain in America, waging wars on all these terms on behalf of Britain, they should be sponsoring us because we just getting established over here. We're not in a position where we can maintain ourselves and progress, and at the same time be expected to remit money back to Britain, to England. So they took counsel amongst themselves, the colonists in America, to what? To break up from Britain and establish their own independent nation in America. That's how America so-called became independent. So the war they had, of course, Britain didn't just say, okay, great idea, no problem. It was a problem. It was a war. And the war went on, that was a war from 1775 to 1783. So the war basically for like 8 years. They established the so-called independence. And as we know, what was the status of our people during that time? Slave. When the slavery supposedly ended? When was the so-called Emancipation and Proclamation? Anybody know? Young brothers know? Somewhere around 1863, 1865, so yeah, I'm saying. So 1776, when America got independent from Britain, our independence didn't pertain to our people. You were still in slavery. They were still colonized, they were still enslaved our people. Understand? So, so you these guys, you Thomas Jefferson, all of them, what do they consider us? They are slaves, and as far as census went, they consider what? 3/5 of a man. They didn't we were slaves. So this independence That's why independence coming up in July 4th, in a month or so. That's not our independence. Nah, that's not our independence. But we celebrate that independence. That ain't got nothing to do with us. There's a so-called white man's independence in America from the fellow white man in Britain. Because when that took place, we were still in slavery. Understand? So that war was for 8 years. Then that was 1775 to 1783. But of course, before that though, because of the reason for the economic condition that Britain was in was because of the war that they had. The war they had with the French. The war they had with France. Because they were all France basically France controlled most of Canada. Because right now in certain parts of Canada they speak predominantly French, like Montreal, Quebec, Ontario, a lot of those places speak most of French. Because France controls Florida, Canada, and the colonists they control the east coast, and so the French were and they were all looking for land. They were all hungry for land. The French want to push south from Canada coming down. And at the same time the colonists they were trying to push west. So there was conflicts going on. So they were warring against each other, and it came to be known as the French-American War or the French-Indian War, whatever. They always reference the Indians in this war because both sides were recruiting the Northwest Native Indians, so-called Native Indians, to back them up. And the French were more familiar with most of the Indians, most of the different Indian tribes. So they were able to recruit most of the Indian tribes. So and initially they were prevalent against Britain, but eventually Britain overcame them. So that French-American War was actually before the War of Independence. The French-American War was 1754 to 1763, 7 years. Okay, so and it was George Washington. He was a young general. George Washington, he was like 21 years old, so he was leading the colonists in this war against the French. And this war says lasted about 7 years, from 1754 to 1763, and it ended up with Britain getting overhand, and France had decided what they got the Treaty of Paris. Again, to give up a lot of different territories to the British. Now, those are two of the wars that went down. The French-American War from 1754 to 1763, and then the American War of Independence from 1775 to 1783. Okay, so now we're gonna focus on another war, the Spanish-American War, which didn't come until more than 100 years later. Now, as far as explorers went, most of the explorers, the early ones were the Spanish. I think 1492, the Spanish. They were probably the first to come to this side of the world, the so-called New World. And they conquered many Caribbean territories, Cuba, even Jamaica. Even though Jamaica, most people know Jamaica to be a colony of England, but originally Jamaica was under the Spaniards. Understand? And then the Spaniards give up Jamaica to Britain. But the Spaniards, they conquered most of the Caribbean, certain parts of the Caribbean, Central America, I mean, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Costa Rica, all those territories. You see, you can tell by the language that's prevalent. It's prevalent in those in those territories. That Spaniards they had a strong foothold, or they were the first to reach those territories. Now, one of the main crops in the island, regardless of who was ruling, whether it was the French or the British or the Spanish, was sugar. Sugarcane was the main crops. Was there? Even in Haiti, where the French had Haiti was very prosperous. Sugar. Britain, and the so-called West Indies, Cuba, Spaniards. Yes, very lot of money in sugar. Understand that? And Cuba is a large island. Cuba is probably the biggest island, the biggest one nation island in the Caribbean. We have Hispaniola, which consists of Haiti and Dominican Republic. That's a large island also. But Cuba is a large island, and the sugarcane industry was prospering. Doing great for Spain. I mean, and Spain was like in America's backyard. You know what I'm saying? At that time, by 1898, that's a late 19th century. You know what I'm saying? America was large. You know what I'm saying? It was large now. By then, it had already taken over. It had already signed about loser purchase. They got our land, which went over last week, and they already started they expanded to the west with the Lewis and Clark expedition. Expanded to the west. So at that point, they basically have taken over they also with the war again with the American-Mexican War, which I'm going to focus on another time. That was in 1842 to 1846. Can you show me that map? Show me that. Yeah, show me that ancient map. Show me that ancient North American map. They took over all that land that Mexico originally had, because Mexico originally wasn't just the size of Mexico as it is today. Mexico consisted of Texas, California, and all those states in the southwestern states. Mexico was almost as big as America was, and bigger. You know what I mean? That's how large Mexico was. But as America became expanded westward and got larger population and military and money and all that, they waged war against Mexico in the 1840s and took over much of the land in Mexico had. So I don't know. Maybe that's why Esau keep trying to cross the border and say it's my land. It's my land. This land belongs to you originally. Are you trying to keep me out? Tell me I got to build a wall. I got to build a wall and pay for it. It's my land.
it's a lot of Issachar in those places too.
Yeah, there's a lot of Issachar over there in California, yeah.
Yeah, California.
Especially Southern California.
Southern Texas.
Yeah, right.
Places like that. A lot of Issachar.
Yeah, I live in Texas for a little while. There's a lot of Issachar over there. And then, I watched the soccer game, and like in Pasadena or the San Diego. Those stadiums are holding like 90,000 people. Whenever America has played against Mexico in those stadiums, it's in America now. But it's like the home crowd is like Mexico. you got more Mexicans in those stadiums than America. You see? You got it?
Yeah, but there's some. I cannot take this up. It's like some update. But
Oh, that right?
Yeah, I cannot take it up.
They've got an update for you. Pick another time. Pick another time.
It's like,
You not know what to do it?
no.
Okay. Yeah, but I can see for me, okay, you can't do it. But Mexico was much larger than it is today. Consisting of Texas and those West California, a lot of those southwestern states. But because of the war in 1842 to 1846, America took over those lands. So that's what it was. And anytime they wage war and win, you got to give up land. So, but now, but Spain was in charge. Spain was colonizing Cuba. Understand? Spain was colonizing Cuba, and the sugar industry was booming. The sugar industry was booming, and America got jealous of that. America got jealous of Spain's prosperity in the sugar plantation. They wanted that. So there was always a lot of plus. They had the idea of other countries, other nations coming over this side of the world. It was okay initially, but now that they are becoming like a superpower in the area, they were resentful of other nations, having businesses in this side. So there was a lot of tension between Spain and America with respect to Cuba and the sugar industry. So America now, they will still start flexing their muscles. They started flexing their muscles and started patrolling the area, so to speak. So they shipped the U.S. and Maine. They added the U.S. and Maine in 1898, so they're on there. That's basically us. Just like today, you see conflicts going on in the Middle East. What does America do? They send a navy over there. Send a navy in those territories. See, there's a conflict going on with tension between America and Iran right now. Yeah, what does America do? They send a navy over there. But there's bombers with bombers up the points up on the naval ship. They let them know. They're flexing their muscles. Let them know, yo, we're a superpower. We got the guns. We got the big guns. So that's basically what they was doing in the Caribbean around Cuba to let Spain know you're in the back. We got the guns. We can defend this. Understand? And they were much so. At that time, they were a much powerful nation than Spain. So and it happened that the Maine got blown up. Through history, people speculating as to what was the cause, how it got blown up. What was the cause? Was it actually blown up by mines that the Spaniards set in the sea, or was it some internal accident within the ship that caused it to blow up? But But because the tension, people wasn't even reasoning logic, or they didn't care. They was on this power trip. They didn't even care if it makes sense that it might have been an accident that happened internally. They just put the sentiment up there and the vibes up there that hey, it was a mine. Spain did it. So that basically they basically had the politicians go along with the sentiment of the people. Because the politicians don't go with the sentiment of the people, the next thing you know, what happened? They get voted out. And they get voted out. So the panelists agreed, the politicians agreed to say, hey, the Spaniards blew the main. The Spaniards blew the main, so they authorized the military to spend X amount. They just came up with a budget to start to finance a war to fight Spain. And that's exactly that's what happened. Because the main got blown up and they didn't reason logically, they didn't care if it was an accident or what. They just went with the sentiment of the people. Maybe that was a perfect excuse for them to wage war against Spain, to drive them out and take over Cuba. So because of that, now America, they recruited all these people, got the military together, and they waged war against Spain. They prevailed against Spain. As a result of that, what happened? That's how they lost like places like Puerto Rico. They lost. Spain had to give up a lot of territories. They had to give up a lot of territories. A lot of territories as a result of America waging war against them. They had to give up the Guam Islands. They had to give up Puerto Rico and other places. They didn't have to give up Cuba, but I think it was 1959. Was it 1959? That's when Castro, yeah, that's when Castro started. He said, we want independence of it, and ever since Castro did that, America had this embargo against Cuba, and they refused to relent. They refused to give him a break. Obama tried to give him a break when he was in office, but as soon as Trump got in office, everything in a break. That Obama, giving Cubans, struggled to reverse that. With the stroke of a pen, reverse everything. So they're back to the hostility now. They're back to the hostility. So all these are prophesied in the scriptures. Those three wars, we're gonna 7 and 8 again. Daniel 7 and 8.
The book of Daniel. The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man.
Right. So those three horns that were plucked up are the in the order of the French, the British, and the Spaniards. All that was documented in the scriptures. That's how we know the scriptures are like. That's what that's talking about. The little horn is America, which is amongst them, which came with the Britain, and then turned around when it got the strength. It conquered the French, the British, and the Spaniards. And America, the last one is the Spaniards. under the Treaty of Paris, that was signed December 10th, 1898. And America got such territories such as Guam, the Philippine Islands, Cuba, and Puerto Rico, but Cuba regained independence for America in 1959. Now, during this era, there was a lot of territories, especially a lot of territories were in the 8th century or early in the early 19th or whatever. A lot of these territories were getting independence. A lot of these places were getting independence. Like we know 82 the independence in 1804 when they defeated Napoleon, which led to which was a gift to America to get the Louisiana Purchase, Louisiana territory, because France didn't need that land anymore because they no longer had Haiti, and the main reason for them wanting that land was to monitor the activities in Haiti. So there was a lot of land, independent land, independent territories now in the areas, especially in South America. A lot of these countries would come into their own. There was slavery was supposed to be abolished. I mean, most places will have slavery abolished, like by this time, by the 1900s, 90 something. So America now wanted to be the main power in this territory. He wanted to build his wealth by trading with these independent countries. Understand? He didn't want those any interference per se from Britain or from France, Spain, or Russia, or any other territories in this region. He wanted to be the main man in this region, and they perceived that they could build their wealth by trading with these different nations. So during this time, James Monroe, he was like in the 1820s, he was the president. Understand? He was the one that came along, and he was the one who implemented the so-called Monroe Doctrine. Everybody know what the Monroe Doctrine was or is? Monroe. Yeah.
Americans.
Okay. Can you elaborate?
He said pretty much all the countries that are in America should be under the control of the USA, not any foreign power from Europe or any other continent. Everything in America should be under the American authority.
Yeah. And that's putting it up. That was a real thing. But they probably are running it differently. They're probably running it more diplomatically. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the true intention. So everything could be under their control. So they were basically saying that any interference from Europe in the Caribbean or the Americas will be considered as a threat to America, interfering in the internal affairs of America. That's basically what I was. And that was the policy that America put out there. I understand. I think it was actually Britain wanted to be to have some kind of alliance, some kind of a joint declaration with America along that line. Maybe they would have called it something different, but America didn't want to do anything with Britain. They wanted to implement their own, want to establish their own. But they knew that Britain would have backed it because Britain also wanted to be the main one in Europe that America would trade with. And Britain ended up, back in America, as far as as far as the manual adoption went, because Britain had his had this great navy also, and they were to back America militarily. That's what the manual adoption was. It was enacted in 1823 to prevent Europeans from claiming territories in the so-called New World, or flexing the muscles, or having any so-called undue influence in the Caribbean and the Americas, because America wanted to be the main power. That's what I was. Let me see now. Go back to you, Daniel. See Daniel? Get me Jeremiah 29, 10.
Jeremiah what?
29 and 10. Family. Yeah. Another 5 minutes. All right, give me a Jeremiah 29 and 10. That's go ahead.
Ready?
Hold on. Let me see the one there. No, all right. You want give me Ezekiel 35. Give me Ezekiel 35. Ezekiel 35 and 10.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 10. Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there.
Right. That's what Esau said. These two countries and these two nations shall be mine. That's what it says concerning the land of Israel, with the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, right? That's what they did. That's what they possessed of a land in Israel, all of Israel in 1948, through Britain and America backing the Balfour Declaration. And then they came over here and they waged different wars. They came over here in the so-called New World, and they waged different wars to claim different territories. They waged different wars against all the Edomites in the world. They waged different wars against France, Britain, and England, and America to gain different territories in this region. With all these lands, especially even the Mexican-American War in 1842, 1846. Like I was saying, Mexico originally, most of the states in Southwest America belong originally to Mexico. We were part of the original nation of Mexico. But in a war that America instigated, Mexico lost, so America annexed those lands, claim those territories as their own. The same thing is going on in the so-called Middle East, because initially when the so-called Jews went over there, and Ishmael was over there, if you look at the map during that time, and who owned what territory, Ishmael owned a lot of land. around Jerusalem, around Israel. But if you look at the map today, you can see how so-called Jews disproportionately own the majority of the land. Why? Because different wars that they wage, what they call it, 1967 war. Every time they wage a war against Ishmael, they claim the land. Right now, they are they instigate all kind of conflicts. And next thing you know, they claim, oh God, let's keep pushing Ishmael back, way back. But that's not our fight. That's their fight. Our fight is getting ourselves right, because we know that when we get ourselves right, and the Most High brings us out of here, and from the four corners of the earth, and bring us back into our homeland, all those territories that we rebuilt, and all that's going to be ours again. Give me Isaiah 60:10.
Isaiah chapter 60, verse 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee.
Right. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy wall. What walls are they talking about? The walls of the New Jerusalem, the walls of the New Israel. The sons of strangers. So if all people are going to be saved, why were the sons of strangers building up our walls? When they have who's a stranger, by the way? A stranger is someone who's not of your nation. A heathen, or the Gentiles. The sons of strangers shall build up our walls. You know what? And the walls doesn't literally mean a wall. It means the city. Understand? And the sons of strangers shall build up the walls, and read on.
The sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee.
And their kings shall minister unto thee. Right now, their kings aren't ministering unto us. Their kings are oppressing us. But all that's going to change. Read.
For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I have had mercy on thee.
Right, so the Most High let you know, in his wrath he smote us. Understand? He smote us in his wrath, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. But the Most High will show us favor. He didn't have mercy on us. Read.
Therefore thy gates shall be open continually.
That gates shall be open continually. Read.
They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought.
Right. Why are our gates going to be open continually? Not be shut. It's right here. That men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For what? For labor. Just like the gates in America were never closed. They were continually bringing us our people from the west coast of Africa to enslave us, to work on their plantation. They were never closed. Even after the so-called Emancipation Proclamation. Even after they pledged not to bring any more slaves, they were still secretly doing it. Their gates were never closed. So when the Most High when the Most High have favored us and have turned the tide, flip the script, have us rule over our oppressors, the opposite is going to happen. Our gates are continually open so we can bring them. to build up our walls, to build up our cities. And that's what we gotta keep in our consciousness and look forward to.
That's right.
Read.
For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee.
See that? For the nation and the kingdom that will not serve thee. So if we're all going to be equal, how come they're going to be serving us? We're not going to be equal. We're going to be ruled over them. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee, you're all going to be serving us, and we're all going to be serving the Mashiach Yahushua, and we're all going to be serving the Mosai. You're going to be serving us while the Mashiach Yahushua is going to be ruling over us, our king. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee, read on,
shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
Those nations shall be utterly wasted. Understand? So the nations some are gonna come willingly, and some are gonna want to resist. So the ones that come willingly, that's why when you read the scripture that says the heathens that are called by my name, is referring to the heathens who are willing to come, like you read in Isaiah 14. The ones who come willingly. Get Isaiah 14. But some are going to refuse to come willingly. Those are the ones that are going to be gathered at the Battle of Armageddon. Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14 and 1.
With Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Most High will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
But the Most High will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. That yet kind of give a clue. Even though we were wicked, disobedient to the Most High, even though we're in captivity and still being oppressed by the other nations, yet the Most High is going to have mercy on us. Even though it looked as if we were cast away, and the Most High have chosen another nation, yet the Most High is going to choose us and put us in position of rulership. Read.
And set them in their own land.
And set them in their own land. What land is that? The land of Israel. Understand? Because right now, they stole our land, even over here where we came whenever mankind dwelled. Nobody was here when we came, but they came after us and what? Enslaved us anyway, colonized us anyway. And through the secret of the council that they had, they stole our land. Because they coveted our fields, took it by force and the violence, and oppressed us on our houses, on our heritage. That's what they did. But the Most High, through his mercy and everlasting mercy, and the favor that he has for Israel, is going to set us back into our homeland. And now those nations, those strangers, serving us and building up our walls. Read.
And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Right. And they should cleave to the house of Jacob, the strangers. Just like the strangers cleave to the house of Jacob when we were coming out of Egypt with Moses. Right? Because it wasn't just Israel that came out of Egypt. There was a mixed multitude. There were other nations with us. Because what? People always gravitate to who they see got the power. Just like right now, that's why a lot of people right now, you tell them like Hebrew Israelites, they don't want to hear that. Because what? We ain't got the power. They want to cling to the so-called white man. Because what? They see they can get something from it economically. That's why even a lot of our so-called great leaders, going back historically, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, even Farrakhan, all these guys know Hebrew Israelites, but they're not promoting, they're not pushing Hebrew Israelites. They're not telling people that we're Hebrew Israelites And then we go back to a nationality, keep the most as laws, statutes, and commandments. They're pushing a different agenda. They're pushing Christianity. Marcus Garvey was pushing on this back to Africa, the Pan-Africanism. And then because he saw, I guess he saw a bigger and greater glory, you know what I mean, in a so-called global Pan-Africanism. Pan-African, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to isolating us as Hebrew Israelites from the other dark nations and focus on our identity and us building up of our nation. You saw that I guess it was more in his eyes. That's why the Moses said their thoughts are not his thoughts. And their agenda will never come. The Most High will true never man a liar. So they were promoting their own agenda. That's why they never come to fruition. Just like Martin Luther King talking about he had a dream and one day he's going to see us holding hands with the other nations. He'll not get there with us, but that will never come to fruition. You know what I'm saying? That's their agenda. And the Most High agenda is what got the best. 07. Okay. Go back to Isaiah. Read the music around that verse. Isaiah 60. Isaiah 60 and
12.
yeah, you fell.
Read it again.
Yeah.
Isaiah chapter 60, verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
God. But Shamash Darashah. And with that, I'm going to say Shalom. We're going to conclude today's service. So the brothers can get together and get ready for camp. And tomorrow, most are willing, we have a continuation of Shabbat service at 12 Eastern time till about 4:30. Then a Sunday, most are willing, we are going to have the New Moon service. Almighty Wapanya Yarashila. Stand the page, Jerusalem. Shayar, Hama Iwan, Ladawad, Hana, Ba, Tawab, Wama, Naayam, Shabat, Akyam, Gan, Yakad, Kashaman, Matawab, Al, Haraash, Yarad, Al, Azakwan, Zakwan, Haran, Shayarad, Al, Paya, Madawak Yawa, Katal, Karamwan, Shayarad, Al, Haraya, Kazayawan, Kaya, Sham, Kazawa, Hawa, Abaraka, Kayawam, Awalam, Asham, the water, Aman. Gantan.
Book of Psalms, chapter 133, verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for a brother to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garments, as a dew of Harmon, and as a dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. Abunah Yahweh Bahashem Hashem Yahushai, daughter from Yad, Aman.
Amen.
chicken or cold.
Yeah.